Hello there, it's Denise with Ladybug Stampin. Here's another card tutorial for you guys today. And today we have quite a cool technique, I think, for a card that most of us do not like to make. And it is a card for someone when we've lost somebody or a friend has lost someone, you know, a sympathy card. And those, you know, you don't want to make them when you have to give it out. So it's nice to have a few on hand, either for yourself or for a friend that might need one. To, you know, because when you're in that kind of mood, you don't want to, sometimes you don't feel like creating. Oh, the technique I want to show you guys is on these trees right here. I stamped them and then I did use some the white Whisper White craft ink, and I made it look like fog was in the clouds. Can you get, or in the trees, I mean. Now in here I have two different cards, and the reason why I want to show you is because the trees that I used. In this card was my first card. I used this stamp set and these two stamps. With this one, I just used these two. And I have had different people tell me which one they liked. I prefer this one without those tall trees. So that's the one I'm gonna make, but you can use the tall one to make this card too if you want to. And then the DSP I had on this was a different kind of DSP. It's from the old catalog. So in the new catalog, I'm gonna be using some new DSP that will be for this card. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create our background. I don't know if you guys can see on this, maybe not that one, it's not as good, but this one here, it's a really light color on the background. And how I achieved that was I first took some soft sea foam and I took one of our sponges and I just really lightly, and I wiped some off here, and I just kind of went around. I didn't go around the whole card. You'll see I'll leave some spots, and this is really light. And I just went a little bit around. I want, well, there'll be trees covering that one up. Okay, and then I took some balmy blue. I'm gonna leave that one open in case we have to come back to it. And I did the same thing, kind of rubbed it off a little bit, because you can always put more on, but you cannot take it off, right? So I just a little bit off on the paper first before I rubbed it on here. I'm really gonna try to get that. That will be okay. Because when I use the Whisper White craft ink, it's gonna blend it a little bit more. Okay. Just combining those two colors together, basically. And I think I'm gonna go back with some more of this sea foam. Yeah, just kind of smooth it out a little bit with your sponge. And basically you're just layering it till you get the look that you want on your background. And every time I think it's going to be a little bit different, because sometimes you can't remember what you did the first time, how you did it, you know, because the card's been completed. So, but I just wanted it to look kind of hazy. Okay, and I even think I used a little bit of Old Olive. I am done with these, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this one and this one. We'll be using this for the trees, so I'm gonna go ahead and open that. I think I might have used a little bit of this, but I definitely took a lot of it off. Okay, and then just a little bit around. Just a little bit. We don't want a lot of the Old Olive, okay? All right, so since I got that mark right there where I didn't blend it really well, we're gonna stamp our trees facing this way. I do need the Old Olive, and I need the Mossy Meadow. Okay, so I've got my trees on the blocks. I'm using a C block and a B block. And the first, I'm going to take this stamp with a 2 on there. And I'm going to stamp in Mossy Meadow first. And I'm going to stamp off. Okay, and because I stamped halfway on the cardstock and halfway off, I'm going to have to ink it back up, stamp off, and then I'm going to, in second generation, go in the background. Okay, and again, because I stamped a little bit off, did I stamp a little bit off? Yeah, I did. So I want to ink it up, 1, 2, and just maybe over here. No, go back here. There we go. Just a little bit lighter. Okay. Now I'm going to just stamp off, stamp off, stamp off, stamp off, stamp. You could go on there. I'm going to stamp in some old olive. Okay. And stamp off, stamp off. And it's okay if they overlap. Like that. I think I'm going to be, no, let's see. I think I'll come down just a little bit more. And like that. Okay, then I'm going to take my single one and put one back there. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do a little bit darker one. And over there. Over there. Oh. Stamp off over there. I want to make it look like the mountain's going up. And you're way back in the distance. Like that. Okay, so just add until you feel that you like it. Now we're going to put these to the side. I'm going to use my heat tool to dry my ink. They do dry pretty fast, but because we'll be using the white craft ink, it's a little bit wetter than our dye-based inks. I want to dry it with a heat tool. So I heat it up and just dry it real quickly. You don't have, it doesn't take that long. I'm just making sure. Just that quick, like that, okay? And I know if I go over here, it's not gonna get on my fingers. So we're gonna use this Whisper White Craft stamping pad. Now with this one, how this comes is it comes uninked. So you have to get it comes with a refill. And you add your ink whenever you need it. And there's some in there. I just like to add, because I don't put a whole lot in there. And I just use the tip of my nozzle and put it in there in the pad, in the foam. Okay. Now I've got a sponge just for this Whisper White. But I will say, here's this one earlier and that I used on the other cards, and it did get that, it picked up the Mossy Meadow and the old olive. And if I put that back in there, it's going to stain my stamp pad. So I've got more of a fresh one. Okay, I've got some ink on there. Now, you're going to tap off a little bit, okay? This will blend really well. So we're just going to start up at the top, and we're just going to kind of go down. Okay. You're going to make it look like it's really foggy. And see how it just blends. Like that. This will blend a lot better. You can pick that ink that you stamped off earlier and kind of go back. It's just, you don't have to do all the trees. Just kind of, you know, put a little bit down here. Not much. You don't want to put it over the whole thing. Just kind of a little lightly. Like that. So it's the white is definitely up here more. We're going to put a little bit more. I dabbed a little bit more. Okay. So I know it kind of looks like it's blended together. But once it dries, you'll have this. Now, if you think that, oh, wait, that's a little bit too dark, you can go back. I would pick the old olive because it's not as dark. And you can stamp up your tree and maybe add a few more down here. Like that. Okay. And that just picks it up a little bit more. I'm going to stamp off. I'll stamp. Okay. And that will give it a little bit more dark. Now, you'll see that I did go down quite a bit down here. And I didn't want to go up there. It's because I am going to be using the rectangle shapes to die cut these. Okay, die cut this, and then this is cut at, I've got this one cut at 4.5 by 3 inches, and then we've also got some soft suede, and this is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. That's for this piece right here, and then this one is cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. That's for this piece right here. Then we also have a piece of DSP, and this is from the Magnolia DSP. So there's the magnolias on the back, but it had the stripes similar to this, but just it had the right colors because this has got Mossy Meadow in this one. All right, and so I'm gonna use the frame on this. So I'm gonna go run this through the Big Shot, and then I'll be right back. The dies that I used were the rectangle stitched framelits that I used, and I used the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th ones in. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 3. And so the 3 and 4 were used for these 2 pieces, and 5 and 6 were used for the larger pieces. All right, and we're just going to take these out. I love how these look. Now, quick tip: if you measure this right and lay this right, you can actually use this for a frame for another project. But I didn't. I did last time, but I didn't this time. Okay, we'll take this one off. These off of here, and then this one actually, and I think the last time I did this I stamped my sentiment first, but the first time I think I just I ran it through the machine first. All right, now we're going to get our sentiment, and we are going to be using, where's it at? We're going to, this time I'm using the Better Together sentiment set, and you get 2 cases with the different sentiments. Great starter set if you're just starting out with Stampin' Up! Or card making. And on these ones I used May Your Sorrow Be Eased by Wonderful Memories. This time I think I'm going to use May Life Be Filled with Fond Memories. And we're going to be using our G block for that. Let's see. Yeah. I just want to make sure this is going to fit. Yep, it'll fit. Alright, so I'm going to place it down there. Pick it up. Yep, okay. All right, and then we're going to get out our Mossy Meadow. And we're going to stamp it on there. I'm hoping that I can see this. I'm going to stamp it up. I'm going to turn it around since I'm doing it this way. That way I can kind of see where my image is going to be. And hopefully it went on straight. There you go. Oh, that looks beautiful. I love that font right there. That's gorgeous. Now we're going to get out our card base. Put this over the side. So now we've got all that ready to go. So let's start with our card base. Our card base is soft suede cut at 4 1/4 by 11. You can score it at 5 1/2, or you can fold it over like I normally do. And then just use your bone folder to burnish it. And then you have a piece of Mossy Meadow cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I'm going to use some Tombow this time because it just helps me, doesn't it? Gives me time to like line it up straight. That's why I like Tombow on these particular projects. Okay. All right. Oh darn it! I did this the last time. I forgot to. Because it wasn't right in front of my face, even though I can see it right there. What you can do is take your 3 strips and go underneath, but it will make it a little bumpy. So if you do it the way I'm fixing to show you, then it will be okay. So I'm going to take a piece of cardstock. And first I'm going to, the cards that we used, I'm going to just cut a little bit of this is called Nature's Trim, and this is in Crumb Cake. Okay, and then I need another piece. let's see. Okay. And then one more piece. I'm going to try to fix this by doing something I didn't do last time. So I am going to use this cardstock as a line with for my Tombow and try to make a straight line. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and lay it right on top of my twine. Okay, because I messed that up. All right. And it should dry pretty quickly, like that. All right, cool. And then I'm just going to take it. I don't think I need it for the second one. I should be able to follow a straight line. Okay. All right. Then you can go back. We'll go back and trim it after we put our other two pieces. Let's take our small pieces and just use a little bit of Tombow. All right, lay it in the middle. All right. And then Tombow on the back side of this one. Oh, it looks like I got a piece of cardstock stuck on that. And this is going to go in the top. What is this, left or right corner? Let me my left corner. Depends on how you guys are seeing it. Okay. Lay that down. All right, and then we're going to put some Tombow on this one and put it on this piece. I love these stitched framelits, these rectangles. Oh my gosh, I love them. Okay. Now this one we're actually going to put, we're going to use some of the foam strips. Just because it's a little bit longer. And I wanted it to be, okay, I'm not going to go all the way because I'm going to snap there and snap. No, I'll just put this in the middle because I don't want it to. I gotta go make sure my card goes over these three right here. Okay, and then we're gonna take it on this one down here. Okay, all right. I have all my foam strips on here, and I didn't go all the way down here because of the twine. I want to make sure that it doesn't make it too bulky by putting, you know, the foam strips on there. And we're going to lay this down. We're going to go just about like that. Lay it on there. Oh, that's so pretty. And then I'm going to turn this over and trim these off. Okay, there we go. That definitely looks better with how you do the lines. All right, and these are, so this is my original. Then this one has a little bit more fog, I think. And then we have this one right here that we created today. Oh, these are pretty. These will be very pretty for for someone who's lost a loved one. Okay, guys, so today, remember, we've used Rooted in Nature and then the Better Together bundle. All the information for the measurements and the supplies will be down listed below. I will have links down below, and of course, a link to my blog post with the rest of the information. Okay, guys, well, thanks for stopping by today. Go out and have a wonderful week. Talk to you later.